Welcome to Modernerdom.
Nerds.
Nerds.
Nerds! What is a nerd?
With Rocky.
Rocky, do you believe that America is the land of opportunity?
Wish me luck, I'm gonna need it.
Hey, I don't believe it! Hey, the champ is down!
And the Brain.
The brain.
You're every bit the detective that your followers on the internet believe.
Gee, Brain, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night. Try to take over the world.
Live from Modernerdom Studios, it's Rocky and the Brain. Welcome to our 5th episode. I am the Brain, and with me this week, as always, is my co-host,
Rocky.
That's right, and this week we actually have a special guest joining us, and I'm going to let Rocky introduce her.
We have a special guest for you female listeners and male. Her name is Lady J. Let's all give her a hand.
Yay, thanks for joining us, Lady J. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am married to the dork that just introduced me.
And by the way, that's Rocky, not me.
Oh, really?
I am a quasi-nerd.
Quasi-nerd.
Might say. No, quasi. Yes, quasi.
Quasi-female nerd. That's even better.
So is that like a closet nerd? Like you don't want to show it in public and you like to keep it inside the family?
You I'm not even supposed to be using my real name. That's why we say Lady J.
So Lady J, tell us a little bit about your nerdom. What makes you a quasi-nerd?
I mean, really anything and everything to do with the nerddom. I've always been a fan of sci-fi. Even though nobody seems to ever pin it to me, every time I ever tell anyone, and this may be why I'm a quasi-nerd instead of a full-fledged nerd, anytime I ever tell anyone the things that I like, they're always like, really? I don't know. I wouldn't have imagined that. No. Are you sure? I get that a lot. So, yeah. I'm big into superhero lore. I love Harry Potter, any of the magical realm type stories. Really just anything sci-fi. I can dig it.
Very cool. Yeah, you'll definitely find a place amongst us.
Absolutely, I agree.
Hey, and now you get to join in our drinking game if you haven't heard about it from Rocky. Anytime Rocky decides to say I agree, feel free to take a quick sip of a beer or a sip of your wine.
Well, actually, in YouTube Brain, if you say I agree or I concur.
That's right. I do tend to do it as well.
Yes, I agree.
I think he's trying to get us drunk.
And for
wait, apparently it worked.
For those of you who don't understand why we do this is because in our first episode, our live episode, we were having audio issues, so I couldn't really hear Brain. He couldn't really hear me, and so we kept saying, well, me specifically kept saying, I agree.
Yeah, it was a fun undertaking because we couldn't hear each other, and we were still able to put on a show, so I think we should be commended for that from our vast audience. But continuing on, this episode, episode 5, we are focusing on the magical realm, as Lady J said earlier. We are focusing on Harry Potter, Magic the Gathering, and if you've been on our Facebook page the last couple weeks, you saw that Rocky and I actually attended a Friday Night Magic, but we'll go into that a little bit later. But as always, at the beginning of our shows, we start off with Nerd News.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
It's time for Nerd News with the Brain.
So first up in Nerd News, we have, Iron Man 3 just came out last weekend, and there's been some mixed reviews. A lot of the hardcore comic fans are not very happy with the Mandarin storyline. I don't want to ruin it for the listeners who haven't seen the film, but let's just say it didn't stay true to the source material. It's very much been changed to fit a more real, more of a reality that we live in now, more so than the fantastical that we're used to in Marvel Comics. But Iron Man 3 did make $175.3 million, making it the second largest domestic opening behind Avengers. And actually $28.6 million in IMAX screens, setting a brand new IMAX record. So apparently people are still going to see it. I wonder how it will do in its second weekend to see if people really like it. What do you guys think?
I don't know, because there's a lot of good movies coming out this summer, and I think that people will just kind of just see it one time and just let it be. Maybe tell their friends, family, what they really think about it. And honestly, Brandon, I'm trying to hold everything back because they ruined my favorite Marvel character, Mandarin.
That was your favorite?
Yes. I liked him because he had all the cool rings. And I like
the 10 rings of power.
Yeah, don't even get me started.
You wouldn't like him when he's angry.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I think that there's always a good superhero flick, no matter how crappy it is. I mean, that's been proven time and time again. Look at the original Batman movies. When they started going really downhill, I mean, they still sold.
That's true. You remember Schumacher greatness. The nips on Batman. We can never take that back.
Didn't he write an apology letter?
He did.
To the fans.
He should.
Well, I think, first of all, I will definitely and always go see an Iron Man movie. No matter how crappy I think it is. I love Robert Downey Jr. in that role. The Pepper, not so thrilled about her, but that's personal. I just don't like her as an actress. But, you take what you can get. I do feel like it's riding on the coattails of the Avengers, though. Everybody was so excited about the Avengers, and it was such a good movie. And when everybody's kind of in holding pattern waiting for the next one to come out, they're going to see every Avenger superhero movie that will come out, no matter what.
I agree. Like, I had very low expectations about... Oh, sorry. I had very low expectations about the Avengers movie. I thought it was just another, cash cow. And I really did enjoy it. I think they did a really good job.
Absolutely, and I absolutely agree with you, AJ. I think that's what they're focused on. Everyone's wanting to go see the latest superhero flick because that is what's selling, and that's what the movie studios do. Whatever's working, let's continue making them. That's why we have, I think we're going on 7 sequels of Fast and the Furious. Really, did anyone think it would last that long?
No, not at all. I think maybe after 2, but...
Oh, yeah. After 2, it was just like, really?
Yeah, I know. How many more of these kind of movies can you do, honestly?
But yeah. I did Tokyo Drift. That was my favorite.
Well, that one helped reinvigorate the franchise because 2 bombed.
Yeah.
But sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Fast 5, I hate to say it. My brother was here. That's my only excuse. But I totally watched Fast 5 and I liked it.
It's okay. They're not bad films. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have some mindless action sometimes.
Absolutely. Did anyone see the 3rd and 4th Pirates movie?
Don't even let's pretend that the 4th didn't exist, okay?
Okay, we will. And so we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about Marvel's 10-year reboot of Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man 2 was interesting this week. An update. They put about 30 set photos up online this week, and if you've been following them, Spider-Man 2, the director has been releasing tweets of pictures, behind-the-scenes shots during every day of filming. And it's definitely a new technique being used that no one's ever done before in filmmaking, so it'll be interesting to see how this takes off and if maybe he's showing too much. But in the photos that were released, it shows Emma Stone wearing the outfit that Gwen Stacy, her character, the same exact outfit she exactly wears when she plummets to her death in the very famous, and if you've read Spider-Man comics, you know, Amazing Spider-Man number 121, which involves Green Goblin sending Gwen Stacy to her death and really making that major character turn for Peter Parker in the storyline of the original Amazing Spider-Man comics.
When did Gwen Stacy appear in the comic? Was it
From the very beginning. It was actually Spider-Man's first love because she was also a science-loving nerd geek just like him. So he was able to relate, and she just happened to be a beautiful blonde at the same time.
Oh, so she came before Mary Jane.
Absolutely. It was Spider-Man's first love, or Peter Parker's first love, I should say.
Yeah. Good to know.
Good to know. But, I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about the Amazing Spider-Man series, but I'm a hardcore Spider-Man fan from the very beginning, and I definitely liked Sam Raimi's version of it. I may not have liked Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, but I did like the story of the original two movies. I think Tobey Maguire did a really good job in the first two. I think they could have cast it a little bit better, but I mean, I'm picking at straws here for that. But
no,
the point is, no, I'm not.
No, you're not.
No, feel free to step in.
I completely
agree.
Yeah, I was searching for another word, but yes, I totally agree. I think that was horribly cast. I didn't like anyone. Well, save for a couple of extras that were thrown in because it's a Sam Raimi movie. How can you not have some of his extras? Bruce Campbell comes to mind.
Who doesn't love Bruce Campbell?
You gotta have Bruce Campbell. But it's sad when in a Spider-Man movie, Bruce Campbell playing like a bit part in one scene is the part that I remember and enjoyed.
Those cameos were really some of the best parts of those films.
They really were.
What would upset me the most with the original films is where they went with Spider-Man 3, and I've spoken about this on an earlier show, and Rocky heard it. He got an earful of it, how much I was so upset with the way they portrayed Black Suit Spider-Man and tried to tie in 3 different villains in one film. They're basically covering 4 films worth of story arcs in one 2.5-hour film. And Sam Raimi didn't even want to do it because his original story involved the Vulture and Sandman, not Sandman, Rocket Racer, and Venom. But I guess when Marvel's paying the bills, you got to do what they ask you to do. And that's when you skip out afterwards.
Yeah, yeah. But I want to say that I think that Tobey Maguire did an excellent Spider-Man, and I enjoy the first 2. And I was very skeptical about the Amazing Spider-Man, and it's still no Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the new actor, and his name escapes me at the moment, but he was in The Social Network, and he's actually done a very good job. I think he's done a very much better job than Tobey Maguire did in that role. I think he captured Peter Parker a lot better than Tobey Maguire did. The only issue I had was not the casting. I think the castings were spot on in The Amazing Spider-Man, the reboot. I think the story was horrible. I mean, I just did not like the way they were going. They were trying to fuse together the comic world of Amazing Spider-Man and Ultimate Spider-Man. If you know Marvel Comics, there's 2 different worlds you work with. There's the Ultimate Universe, which is a slightly different, almost like alternate reality take on these characters. And then there's the regular Marvel Universe that we know, Amazing Spider-Man, Uncanny X-Men, and then there's that way of covering the character. What they did was they combined aspects of both stories together. And in some cases it works in the sense of Avengers. You had a eye-patched African-American version of Nick Fury as opposed to the David Hasselhoff version of Nick Fury that we saw in the horrible, I believe, late 80s, early 90s live-action version of a Nick Fury movie, which is from the Ultimate Universe rather than the regular Marvel Universe. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, he finds out about Uncle Ben dying through a voicemail? Really? Really? Come on. I mean, that is pathetic. That is
a very dramatic voicemail.
That is the most important aspect of Spider-Man. Of him, with great power comes great responsibility. And he hears it on a freaking voicemail.
Yeah, like having Uncle Ben die in his arms really made him change.
Exactly.
Want to become Spider-Man, but I didn't feel that change in the new one.
Absolutely, and we'll keep moving on, but we could go on forever about all these issues we have with these films nowadays. But hey, let's talk about Avatar. The Avatar sequels, 2 and 3, are going to be filmed in succession, actually consecutively, as they've been reporting for a while. And Zoe Saldana, who plays one of the major characters in the first Avatar film, and we all know her as the new Lieutenant Uhura in this current rendition of Star Trek with J.J. Abrams, has confirmed that they will be filming consecutively starting early 2014. So not only do we have 2015 to look forward to Avengers 2, Episode 7 Star Wars, but also more Avatar. Wow.
Is M. Night Shyamalan, is he gonna, or M. Night Shyamalan, is he gonna, stop laughing at me.
Shamalama Ding Dong, M. Night. I'm sorry, that was just too. M. Night Shyamalan.
So is he going to be the director?
They have not announced anything like that. I'm wondering. I think this might be the first case and scenario James Cameron may come back to do. To take the director's seat again on sequels of his own ideas. Usually, the only time he did sequels is he would jump on the boat of someone else's ideas. In the case of Ridley Scott in Alien with Aliens and with Terminator 2. But it should be. I'm very excited to see how they handle Pocahontas 2. I'm very excited.
Wow. I had no idea that was coming.
Thank you. But moving on from Avatar, how about Mission Impossible 5? The sequels continue. Tom Cruise has signed on for another.
Oh.
Yeah.
How could he not?
There's a lot of money there.
Well, I mean, what else is he going to do?
Well, he could, become a hermit and explain how science is religion.
I agree.
Because that endears you to building a family.
Well,
ouch.
Ooh, yeah. Total burn. I'm going to have to put some cream on my burn from that.
Ouch. Hey, and we haven't even gotten to our main burn of the evening.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, what were you going to say, guys? How do you feel about Tom Cruise? Well, one thing I will say about it before you guys chime in, Mission Impossible 5, they're saying Deadline saying the director's going to be Christopher McQuarrie, who did a very good job directing Tom Cruise in Jack Reacher this past year.
So you don't think it'll be more of the same?
I hope it'll be more like the first two. I should say first one because the second one was absolutely horrible. But except for the flying motorcycle fight, that was actually pretty sweet. And Tom Cruise with long hair. But the third and fourth one were very much personal attack stories instead of big terrorist attack situations. It was more about trying to kidnap his wife. In the third one, which J.J. Abrams did a pretty good job. And then the fourth one was, I'm trying to remember what the fourth one was. Oh, they were trying to destroy his credibility with the spy organization. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. I hope it sticks more with the original because I think that twist in the first one is such a great movie. It still stands up.
To tell you the truth, I have not seen a single Mission Impossible.
I am not surprised.
Yes. I'm a nerd, but I'm behind on times.
I don't know that makes you a non-nerd. That's kind of an action.
Yeah, that makes you
action genre.
Oh.
I will tell him on him though. He has seen Night and Day.
So that's kind of like a Mission Impossible.
That's the girliest possible way to do a Mission Impossible, sure.
Thank you for saying that.
Well, good to know.
And knowing is half the battle, Lady J.
I can't jump that far. Okay, chicken, I'm leaving you here. Use your head, Sally. Lady J!
There's nothing chicken about being smart. If you stop and think, there's almost always a better way.
I use this plank. That's using your head instead of losing it. Now I know.
And knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe!
Go, Joe!
Nice.
No.
Awesome.
But continuing on, as Rocky likes to say, this is for Rocky. Dungeons & Dragons is coming back on screen. Warner Brothers has signed on David Leslie Johnson, who worked on Wrath of the Titans, to be writing the screenplay.
Very interesting. I did see the original Dungeons & Dragons. I actually bought it on DVD as well. And I do have to say that it's not as good. I mean, it was great seeing my old professor, Dave Arneson, who is also the co-creator of Dungeons & Dragons, along with Gary Gygax. But, you know, the original was acceptable, and I don't have too much hope for this, to tell you the truth.
Well, if you saw Wrath of Titans, you wouldn't.
Well, I fell asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I was making my noises. Because I haven't seen a Clash of the Titans that's come out in the last few years that's been worth the name.
Yeah.
And speaking of Clash of Titans, I do have to bring up that we lost a great one yesterday. On May 7th, we lost Ray Harryhausen, visual effects, stop-motion legend. You might know him from Clash of the Titans, the original 1981, Jason and the Argonauts in 1963, all the stop-motion skeleton fighters. Everyone has seen a clip of that at some point, watching a documentary or watching how to make movies. This guy was a visionary, and we lost a great one this week.
Great man. Rest in peace, Ray.
And just to add in here, we did have some quotes from some great filmmakers about Ray Harryhausen this week. George Lucas wrote, "Ray has been a great inspiration to us all in the special visual industry. The art of his earlier films, which most of us grew up on, inspired us so much. Without Ray Harryhausen, there would likely have been no Star Wars." And then James Cameron chimed in, "I think all of us who are practitioners in the arts of science fiction and fantasy movies now all feel that we're standing on the shoulders of a giant. If not for Ray's contribution to the collective dreamscape, we couldn't be who we are." Some beautiful words from some great visionaries themselves over the last couple of years. So we hold up a glass to Ray.
Yes.
Rest in peace, sir.
Cheers. Going back to Star Wars, what did Ray do on Star Wars?
He didn't do anything. George was very much inspired by Ray Harryhausen's work on like Mighty Joe Young in 1949 when he was growing up, and it helped kind of influence some of the concepts. He was basically one of the guys that helped, like George Lucas has been for Peter Jackson, Ray Harryhausen was for George Lucas, inspired him to go make movies.
Oh, okay.
I wish George Lucas had referenced Ray Harryhausen when he was doing the upgrades on the originals and perhaps continuing on with the Star Wars saga. It's like, really? I think some of the heart and soul of Star Wars was when they actually made the models, when they actually filmed in that way.
And the guy you have to thank for that is Lauren Peterson. He was actually the special effects advisor, and he was the main model maker for the original films. And I actually have met him a few times. A really fun gentleman to speak to. And whenever he makes the convention circuit, he's also a great storyteller to tell you what days were like working in sweating their butt offs, working in a backstage area that they were basically, ILM was in the back of an old garage where they were building these models. ILM started out as basically an empty garage.
Nice.
Good stuff there. Yeah, and but we do have a few more news items from the rest of the crew here. I'll let them chime in.
And yes, Brain, as we did, Brain, as we discussed in our first show, I love music. I play music. And one of my inspirations is Black Sabbath. And as you know, there's Ozzy. He had his drug problems, and later on, Dio came in to fill his position as singer. But Black Sabbath recently released their single, which is "God Is Dead," and that is ending in a question mark.
Is Ozzy back?
Ozzy is back.
No way.
And he sounds as beautiful as ever.
He always sounded beautiful when he sang. It's just when he tried to speak.
Yeah. Like when he tried to speak, you didn't know what the fuck he was saying.
You didn't know anything, man. I mean, but when he starts singing, it's like crystal clear.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's like reverse Bob Dylan.
And in the like the Osborne show, they actually had a caption Osborne. Because you did not know what he was saying at all.
Well, apparently some of it had a positive effect on the rest of the family because the daughter went out and now she's like running her own fashion shows and fashion line, and she went through a whole basically change of her life, and so apparently it worked out for one of them.
Well, yeah. Kelly did well. Jack, I think his name was Jack. He had some problems. He went to like the K1 fighting champion, and Black Sabbath did release a new single. They're coming out with their new album, and their first single from the album is "God Is Dead," which is ending in a question mark, which he's asking, God is dead? And Ozzy is back in this one. I do believe that they are missing their drummer, but they have Brad Wilk from Rage Against the Machine filling in. And
sweet.
Oh yeah, very, very good. I mean, the single "God Is Dead," I do recommend that everyone check it out.
Is it available to listen to on YouTube or whatnot now? Cool.
Yeah, YouTube. I mean, it's got that classic Black Sabbath sound. It's beautiful. It's dark and
awesome.
Yeah,
we'll definitely have to check that out, and we'll post it up on the Facebook page.
Absolutely.
So, what else we got?
Oh yeah, I have to bring this up.
All right.
Some Honey Boo Boo news.
What? What? Do we really need that?
Yeah. I think that I think it will. It's very important to it.
All right. Well, what is so important about Honey Boo Boo?
Okay. Honey Boo Boo's mom, she recently got married.
Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Who would marry that woman?
Well,
Sugar Bear. Hello. That is his name.
You gotta be kidding me.
They call him Sugar Bear.
And they got married in the backyard, which I'm not saying anything, but I do want to congratulate Honey Boo Boo's mom for her recent marriage, and I also want to congratulate her for losing 100 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah, now she's down to 4 chins.
Ow. Oh, man.
Boom.
Didn't we say we were going to have a larger burn later on? I think that was it.
Go ahead and put your aloe vera on.
Oh, my gosh.
I will say, I don't think they actually got married, though. I think it was just sort of a publicity sort of thing. However, did you see the gorgeous ensemble that she was sporting?
No, I didn't see. You have to describe it for us.
Yeah, please describe it.
Oh, it was a lovely, lovely frock. It was full-on mossy oak, trimmed in high-vis orange.
Wow.
It was lovely.
Wonderful. Was it better than Kim Kardashian's dress at one
Couch dress?
the couch dress where she looks like basically like a couch.
Well, she probably does at this point. How many months pregnant is she?
I don't know, but she's popping. I don't know if it's from out of the ass or from the stomach, but she's popping.
Oh, it's every direction.
Yeah.
It's every direction. God love her. I mean, you know, I really do hate to hate on girls because I think women are beautiful no matter what the shape.
Amen.
However, I mean, I think she thought it would just be a tummy pregnancy, and she forgot that she actually made part of her career, quote unquote, on her ass and her boobs.
She has an insurance on her ass, or is that Jennifer Lopez?
I think that's
well. Guess what? Her premium just doubled.
Oh,
because. Yeah.
Dude, it's really funny seeing Kanye West in that picture. He just looked like
I'm sorry. I got to interrupt you.
Right.
That was not the best video this year.
Which one?
Beyonce had the best video this year. I don't care. She had the best ass this year.
Oh, yeah. But, going back, Kanye West's face looks like he's completely miserable and he just wanted to shoot himself. And if you don't see it, go check out Perez Hilton or just type in Kim Kardashian.
You know who Perez Hilton is?
Yeah, I learned it from you.
I learned it from watching you.
To bring us back to reality for our last news segment, I leave it over to Lady J.
So this week in science, scientists have invented an oxygen particle that allows you to live without breathing. So that would be applicable should someone go into a coma, perhaps moments when breathing is inhibited. If you pass out, the oxygen no longer flows to the brain. This would be the moment to use the injecto oxygen so that your brain does not shut down.
Oh, this sounds so like Wayland, Enterprises right here. It's making me think Alien or Prometheus right here. That is awesome. Man, we're starting to make these science fiction ideas become reality.
Yeah, so if you have a crushed trachea or if you don't have enough oxygen to flow to the brain, like if your lungs are filled with fluid or anything, injecting this oxygen particle will help keep you alive without breathing.
Very cool, man.
Good stuff.
Absolutely. So that about does it for Nerd News this week.
Abracadabra, I sit on his knee. Presto, changeo, and now he is me. Hocus pocus, we take her to bed. Magic is fun. We're dead.
Josephine Levine presents Magic, a terrifying love story.
Well, that was interesting. Yeah, the clip you just heard came from a movie trailer called Magic. It was a horror love story set back in the day starring Anthony Hopkins. Thought it'd be a nice little funny interlude into our Magic talk.
We're now going to be jumping into our main segments, which is all about magic, may it be from gaming to movies to books. Right now we're going to start off with Magic the Gathering. Rocky and the Brain went to Friday Night Magic just a couple of weeks ago, and we decided it would be fun to capture the excitement. So we started out like all good people would at Applebee's for 2-for-1s.
2 for 1s it was, and it turned into 5 beers apiece.
Yes, it did, and we actually got the last one for free. Thank you, Applebee's on 56 and East Fowler.
Thank you, that, and lovely, delicious potato twisters.
Oh, those were pretty fantastic. It kept us from absolutely losing our way back to the gaming arena.
And yes, and we almost lost our stomach there. It did help. It didn't help the smell of the place with bad armpit and onion.
Yeah, it did smell like a combination of BO, onion, and there were some lovely stains on the ground.
Oh, yes.
The carpet looked like it had been there for a good, 20, 25 years. I don't know what stains were in the carpet. I don't think I want to know what stains were in the carpet, thinking of the kind of audience that was in attendance for this event.
Yeah, but if you have any stomach problems, feel free to take a shit in the corner and...
But when we did arrive there, we talked to the manager, and we were allowed to take some video, so props to Academy Games. Or I should say the Game Academy.
Yeah.
To properly announce the organization that allowed us to take some video. And you can check that out on facebook.com/Modernerdom. Rocky grabbed some really good video.
Video and pictures, thanks to Game Academy, which is based in Tampa and Orlando.
That's right. Rocky got his official DCI card. So now he can be in official tournaments, except for when he gets disqualified.
Yeah, dude. I worked really, really hard to build that deck, and thank you to Lady J for providing me extra cards for building that deck. And I was playing my first game, Friday Night Magic, my first game, and I was winning. I was doing excellent. The girl beside me said, "Those are illegal cards." And I was like, "Fuck you," qualified. But, Brain, you beat a 9-year-old kid, didn't you?
That's right, I sure did. I was very proud of that moment.
Yes. You beat a 9-year-old, and I thought you were about to get disqualified for using
No, it was just, as I said in the video, it was just one particular card, apparently, randomly in my deck, because the judge came on over and looked through my entire deck and said, "Yeah, it's just that one card. We'll just replace it with a common land."
Yeah.
And all was well.
All was well. And then it just got to the point where you're...
And then I just got tired because the kid kept asking for the frickin' judge every 5 seconds. Judge. Every time. And I was like, I've had enough. This is not fun anymore.
Yeah.
Let's just go leave and get something to eat.
But honestly, all in all, it was a great experience. I had fun. It was great being there, meeting other nerds, and actually, I would do it again another time.
Yeah, I would do it again too, and hopefully I get a small child in the beginning and I can make it to the second round again.
Yeah. I agree.
What do you win if you actually win?
I think you win cards. It's basically a vicious cycle. You make it through the tournament just so you can win the ability to have more cards, then you can then continue entering more tournaments, so that way you can gain more cards. There's really no end to it.
Wow.
But
I want like a car or something, make it interesting.
Would you have to have Magic the Gathering on the side of the car?
You know what? I could live with that. I was just thinking about that. I'll work with it. Maybe I'll do an interesting paint job on top of it.
Yes.
You're easy. Okay.
I agree.
Just a car.
So,
all in all, it was a great experience, Brain.
That's right, Rocky.
I had fun, and hopefully next time, Lady J, you can join us, and
I think you would just win by default because you would probably be one of the few females there, and they would just be so scared of seeing someone from the other sex.
Yeah.
I think that they would just fold their cards in the very beginning.
They'll go,
oh my God!
You have boobs.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh!
An enchantress.
She must come from the other realm.
Yes. You win.
Oh, yes. And you know we're making fun of ourselves. That's the sad part.
Yeah.
That's the best part, though.
Yeah, it is. It kind of is. It's all good.
It's fun. It's fun playing with you, like you and the other guys, but with these other guys, it's just...
I love it. It's like, what do you do when you hang out with the guys? No, we don't watch football. We don't go to a baseball game, watch hockey. We play Magic the Gathering.
And go, hey, man, you've seen a QB stack, but have you ever seen a mulligan?
Rack with fucking madness. That's what I'm talking about.
Madness, yeah. I tap 4, and I wrap that fucker with madness.
Damn right. So we hope to have future excursions out to Friday Night Magic, and we'll bring on our Lady J, our featured guest this week, along with us next time.
And definitely, the other Magic players out there, feel free to join us. Feel free to invite us to your Magic tournaments, even if it's personal. We will join and we will lose.
Exactly. When he means personal, I don't want some weird house in the middle of nowhere and there's no way out, but then Bates Motel is written on the outside. I don't want that to happen. I just want to make that clear.
Absolutely. I agree. I concur.
I don't know, Rocky. You might actually win if it was non-sanctioned, or it's non-sanctioned?
Yeah, that's about it.
You might actually win because your deck might actually be legal.
Yeah.
He plays outside the lines, kids.
He does.
He's a renegade.
He's a rebel.
My deck is a very good deck.
It is.
He does have a very nice deck.
I do have a very nice deck.
This is getting very interesting.
Okay. Moving along.
You know what? Y'all should just get a room or something. Oh, wait, you're married.
Hey, baby, have you ever seen my Magic deck?
Moving on, that's a great segue to Lady J. Could you tell us what our main topic of discussion is tonight? The realm of, we're just mere muggles here.
There's no such thing as magic.
Dear Mr. Potter, you have been accepted to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Soon, you and your schoolmates will join us here, and your education in the magical arts shall begin.
Harry Potter. As Rocky likes to say,
Harry Potter.
It's Dobby.
No, dude, it's a girl.
No, that was Dobby.
Yeah, that was totally Dobby.
Okay, I got backup on this one. All right, Lady J. So give us the lowdown. Give us the lowdown. Why is Harry Potter so great? What makes it so great?
Do you know what makes Harry Potter so great? It's the same thing that makes the Hunger Games great. Twilight, forgive me, gentlemen, but Twilight. Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson, I'm fine with. But you start breaking out Twilight. Come on. Now.
Come on. Even Twilight. Okay, let me tell you the theme of these things.
Oh, please try and tell me Twilight.
All of these together. Do you know what makes these great? I think what makes especially Harry Potter great, and what I feel like J.K. Rowling really pulled off so beautifully in the books, and yes, in the movies too, but definitely in the books, is the idea that there is a world beyond this world. a world right next to us, a world that we maybe we don't see it, but it's there among us. And I think that's just such a great concept, and it's so universal. Everyone likes the idea that there's more. Well, maybe not everybody likes it, but I think people that are drawn to Harry Potter like the idea that there's more to life than just what's going on right in front of you. Like that there is this magic that's just beyond the door.
That's a really good point, and I do agree with that statement. I think that that's what makes fantasy work so well as a genre, is the fact that it's right here in front of us, we just can't see it.
Right. That, however, is more accessible to, say, nerds in training, i.e. 8-year-olds through 12-year-olds.
I like that, nerds in training. I like that.
I feel like she did a great job, really. I know this topic has been like just hashed out to death. The horse has been beaten 5 times over, but I really do think she did such a great job at making the characters so realistic and grow. Like they grew with the reader. Granted, there were some of us reading it in our 20s when we were first starting it, but for the kids that were reading it, they really did. They were his age. They grew along with him, and it grew from a kid's book to a true, allegory. I mean, a really adult-friendly allegory. I don't know. I just think it's really beautifully done. There's a lot of great themes running through it, just as far as friendship and loyalty and even just human nature. I mean, Harry was never perfect. And she goes through great pains to show that. He lies, he cheats, he steals. He's just a kid, and he has downfalls of a kid. But
and I think that's what makes a hero great, is that he's fallible. I think all the great heroes, when you think of film, books, movies, is they all are not infallible heroes, perfect on a pedestal type heroes, that we can relate to the characters. And I totally agree. I think Harry Potter is a great example of that. And you think of the greats and you think of the history of going on a quest to solve a major problem and trying to understand the responsibilities you have and holstering that great responsibility. You think of all the great stories from Odysseus to Lord of the Rings to Chronicles of Narnia, to all of those type of stories. They all have changed over the years, and definitely our generation will always be known as Harry Potter.
Absolutely.
I agree.
But let's talk about how you feel about the movie adaptations from the books. I also have read all the books and have seen all the movies. Mm-hmm. But what is it do you think has been done well, and what do you think didn't work?
Well, I definitely tend to lean more towards the books are always better. Definitely read the book before I would watch the movie kind of person. I just, the amount of detail, there's a reason those books are big. The amount of detail she can go into as far as, the little magical objects, the story behind the Marauders map, things like that. There's just, they don't translate onto film. There's just no room for it when you're trying to fit everything into 2.5 hours. And I think some of the beauty of the details got lost. But I do, for the most part, I think the first 4, maybe I'm being generous, first 4 films came out really very close. Once the books started getting thicker, I think they started shaving off way too much. I think they could, I don't know, maybe they could have broken the last couple of films down differently.
The one thing I want to ask you, you were talking about the first 4 films, The Prisoner of Azkaban, the third film or third book. My sister, who is also a huge Harry Potter fan, and an English teacher, so she's very much about the literature. She read the books as they were coming out. And she always tells me the film she did not like the most, being an avid fan of the books, was the third, Prisoner of Azkaban, the film. She says, she always brings out to me that one probably is the one she didn't like the style of the movie the most. And that was the only one directed by one person. All the rest were directed, there were multiple films by a different director. This was the only one that had only one film by one director.
She just doesn't like the feel of it?
Yeah, she didn't like the feel of it. She didn't think it was similar to the novel. I mean, the story was, but the feel of it didn't feel like the other films did in the sense of how they captured the books. The style, more so. I mean, it just may be her. I don't know. And if she listens to this, she will give me a hard time. But but basically, I don't know. I was curious to see another person's opinion who's as much into Harry Potter.
I think, you know, every time I think of the movies, for whatever reason, and maybe it's my tree thing, I have a thing for trees, but artistically that is, I think of the one movie that had the tree, the Whomping Willow. You still with me?
I'm with you. That's the third one.
Okay.
Whomping Willows, yes, I remember it. And actually, it is in the Harry Potter ride. Very cool part of the ride.
Which we will find out this weekend.
That's right. I've heard of this exciting excursion.
First time.
You're going to love it. And guess what?
I'm so excited.
When you're walking around, look over to your right and you'll see the construction well on its way for the rest of the Harry Potter expansion.
So excited.
And listeners, what we are talking about is the Universal Studios Wizarding World of Harry Potter on the Islands of Adventure Park, which will be expanding in 2014. Official press release today from Universal of Orlando is that they will be building, and they actually are currently building, and the buildings are flying up very fast, where the original Amity Island and Jaws area of the Universal Studios main park will now be considered London and Diagon Alley, and will have an Hogwarts Express station that will connect with the other park where we have Hogwarts and Hogsmeade.
Excellent.
It's going to be really cool because they're going to have one major roller coaster ride that will be in Gringotts Bank on the Universal Studios side. Yeah, the artwork, the concept art they released today looks gorgeous. I'm very excited to see when that's completed, because it's always fun when a new park opens out here in the wonderful area of Central Florida. We're blessed to have so many amazing theme parks out here that it's always back and forth between Disney and Universal. Okay, we raise you Harry Potter, and then you're going to have probably an announcement from Disney saying, we raise you Star Wars. You know, it'll be fun to see the back and forth, but I'm very excited to see the next rendition of Harry Potter in theme park form.
Which will be next year.
Exactly. It's right around the corner.
That's right. We were not kidding about flying up. Maybe they used a little magic.
Maybe they did. Maybe they did. Well, Disney has the Imagineering, so I guess Universal's got the, wizards.
Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. So,
dude, I still cry when Dobby dies.
Dobby will always be your friend.
Potter. Every time.
That's so sad. He's wearing his little pillowcase. No, but so we talked about the films. We've talked about the books. Where do you see her, other than through the theme parks, which is basically the only new renditions of Harry Potter we're seeing? Where do you see J.K. Rowling going next with her writing career? Do you think she goes back to the world, or do you think she tries to come up with something new?
I don't know. I mean, her new book was completely different, and it has nothing to do with magic, children, or anything of the sort. I mean, she kind of went a completely different direction. So I don't know. I know Pottermore is not really doing as well as they hoped.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the whole big excitement over the announcement and everything, and then it just blah, nothing.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly. You don't hear anything about it.
Everyone was all excited, like all these secret words and word games, everything's like, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Wait, Potter more. Maybe there's going to be more Harry Potter. Oh my God, I'm excited. And then nothing.
And then it's a website. Oh.
Hey, welcome to our interactive website. Really? Really? We could have made that ourselves. It's called MuggleNet, people.
Hey, it's our new website. Check it out.
Speaking of new websites, Rocky and I have finally gotten to work on ours.
Yay!
Woo! That's Modernerdom with one N.
That's right.
Yeah.
But, so...
I would like for Rocky to say one more thing about Harry Potter.
Say something about Harry Potter without doing the Dobby voice.
And I would like him to use Dumbledore in a sentence.
Yes! We haven't done that yet.
You know,
Rocky.
Okay, all right. Well, like, honestly, I saw the first Harry Potter, like, back in college. And I think I saw the Chamber of Secrets in the theater. But, like, other than that, I think I've seen maybe, like, one or two of the Potter films, like, all the way through. And I kind of feel that Dumbledore is a lot like Gandalf.
Dumbledore. Would you like to add to that, Lady J? Dumbledore.
I try. I really try to educate. Are you training this man?
Come on.
I've tried. I've tried to train him. I've tried to educate. And, you know, he's been in the room for multiple showings of, I would say all of the Harry Potter films. I'm pretty sure you even sat by me through one or two showings. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. The Chamber of Secrets. What is a Chamber of Secrets?
Oh, Rocky. Don't you know that it's yes, dear, and she's always right?
Dude, I have nothing to add to Harry Potter.
So, Lady J, you did get to see Oblivion this past week. What did you think about the movie? We actually did a review. Actually, the Brain, myself, did a review the previous week. We'd like to hear your opinion on the movie.
And just know that Rocky did not see the movie, so...
That's right, because we were playing Magic.
Yes.
That's right. So, I went... I felt like it was a good enough movie. It's good to watch once. It's one of those, it's like, okay, I can say I've seen it. And I can be the guinea pig for all my friends that want to know if it's worth seeing. To which I say, yeah, sure, I would rent it though. It's this weird sense, I get a weird sense of nostalgia from it. And that could be because, I mean, Kaczynski even says that it's basically an homage to the sci-fi flicks of the 70s, which could contribute to the nostalgia. There's a little bit of creep factor with the creatures. I won't spoil anything. The creatures that come into play, and really, I thought it was cool. I thought it was such a good premise, and I was excited to see it. And as it played on, I was invested enough to keep my eyes open.
It became pretty obvious what Oblivion was going to be. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and I mean, it's like watching a TV show with, you know, when enough seasons under their belts, you know exactly where they're going to go. You know exactly what's going to happen.
Except if
but
it's
yet
long.
you still like the idea of the show or whatever, and so you keep watching it. That's what it was. I will say this though, I did kind of in my head keep expecting the the M. Night Shyamalan claymation character from Robot Chicken.
Yes.
I kept expecting him to pop out and say, "What a twist!" Like,
like about seven times towards the end.
Yes, exactly. Several times during the whole movie. I'm just like, really? Like, all right.
Yeah.
That was such a missed opportunity for him.
It really was. He's looking for work right now. And we mean the real M. Night Shyamalan people.
Did you say Shalaman?
Shalalama ding dong. I don't know. I think Rocky and I proved we cannot pronounce that man's name.
I was going to say, this can be the episode where you butcher his name.
It will be.
Shalom.
Oh my gosh. I could even tie that into the title.
And Shalom.
Magic and the Return of Shalaman.
But I do have to admit that...
Shalom, everyone.
That the Devil Inside or whatever, good movie.
Yeah, that is a good movie.
Yeah.
I will
say that was totally related. Yes.
Not seen that one. Although I think.
Yeah, you did. We watched it.
We watched it together.
Then I did not.
We watched it together. I was there. I know what would happen.
Yeah, well, you've seen the Harry Potter movies. You've seen the Harry Potter movies 5 times then.
I know, that's the best part.
Harry Potter.
You watched that poor thing die about 7 times.
Yeah. Like, fuck or die again.
And he laughs at me. He laughs at me every time I cry.
Well, no, it's cute.
It's cute when you cry.
And cry for Harry Potter and Dobby makes his sock.
The boy who lived. Okay. Well, yeah, that ties up what our main episode has been out this week. We want to talk about what's coming up next, and a big event coming up here in Central Florida. It is called Star Wars Weekends. It's been going on for since I think 2000. So I think we're on our 13th year now, and it starts up on May 17th and runs all the way through the second week of June. And actually, this past weekend was May the 4th Be With You. And it was an event at Disney Hollywood Studios that involved a Lobot dance party. And for those who don't know who Lobot is, he is the fantastic character from Empire Strikes Back you see for about maybe 2 minutes. That has this wonderful Geordie-looking visor. Yes, I just referenced Star Trek for Star Wars. And he has this kind of visor around the backside of his head that tells him what to do and where to go. But he was DJing, man. He was up there throwing around some tunes. And you had some Star Wars characters out there dancing in the crowd, much like they do during Star Wars Weekends at the end of the day event. And
go ahead.
Okay.
Keep going.
And at the end of the day, we were treated with some wonderful Star Wars sounds and a beautiful fireworks show that went along with some Star Wars music. And it really made the whole day pop. But the one thing that Disney did not do so well, and something I've been belaboring a point about over the last couple of episodes, is Disney has forgotten public relations and how to write press releases on how to handle a large purchase of a big company like Lucasfilm. Let's not tell the fans anything that we're doing, and let's just fire people. So that has kind of been Disney's story over the last month, where they've downsized through LucasArts, they've downsized for a lot of people who've been working for both companies, and it's kind of rolled over into some of their yearly events. Star Wars Weekends, we did not find a guest list out until yesterday, 2 weeks before the event. That is ridiculous. It's basically a money grab to try and get people to schedule trips at the last second on random weekends. But anyway, I had to put that in there because Disney's been upsetting me lately as a Star Wars fan. But over the weekends, Star Wars weekends, we're going to have some great guests this year. Some are annual returnees. Others are brand new. The first weekend, we're going to have Ray Park, who played Darth Maul. He'll actually be there the first 2 weekends. He'll have his own solo show called A Trip to the Mall, where he'll showcase some of his martial arts skills, of which he is a great student of the great Bruce Lee. And we'll also have Jeremy Bullock, who played the original Boba Fett in both Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. He'll be there the first weekend. And D. Bradley Baker, who is the voice of all the clones in the Clone Wars, and Captain Rex.
And I do want to add, we have May the 4th be with you. For all you Sith lovers out there, Revenge of the 5th.
That's right, and Disney actually did have a pin for Revenge of the 5th that involved Darth Goofy and Emperor Stitch.
Dude, oh man, why did you have to ruin it with that?
Yeah. Now I know how Rocky feels when he always said George Lucas destroyed him with the special editions and the prequels. I think Disney's going to do that to me with the sequels. But to continue on with Star Wars weekends, Warwick Davis, who many of us know as Wicket the Ewok, but also from other films, including Harry Potter, Professor Flitwick, yes. Willow, thank you very much. Don't forget him and
He's
Matt
been
Monaghan.
in a lot.
Yeah, and also
He has been in a lot.
Oh, absolutely. The Leprechaun films, for all the horror fans out there, he played the Leprechaun. And he was also in the Chronicles of Narnia, which the Chronicles of Narnia, the original, The Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe, as well as Prince Caspian. And finally, Tim Rose will be there on the third weekend. He played Admiral Akbar. It's a trap! In Return of the Jedi. And Sam Witwer, for the first time, is coming in, along with Tim Rose, who voiced Darth Maul, which was a fantastic addition to the Clone Wars. If you have seen the episodes with Darth Maul in them, they're absolutely fantastic. And Sam Witwer did an amazing job voicing it. And in the final weekend, we have Billy D. Williams, Lando Calrissian. I'm the administrator of this facility. Hello, what do we have here? We have some Billy D. We have some Colt 45, works every time. Peter Mayhew, who we know as Chewbacca. And Tom Kane, the current voice of Yoda, who took over for the great Frank Oz when it came to the Clone Wars. And our hosts during the entire event will be Ashley Eckstein and James Arnold Taylor. James Arnold Taylor voiced Obi-Wan Kenobi, as well as Leonardo in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animated feature film. Ashley Eckstein is the voice of Ahsoka Tano on the Clone Wars, which was sadly canceled this year. Thank you again, Disney. And an event that is coming back this year at Star Wars Weekends that I definitely wanted you guys to know about. If you're in the area and you're going to this event, it is a fantastic experience. It's called the D-Tech Me Experience. And what that means is you can basically turn yourself into a frozen carbonite. Rocky has seen the finished product, and Rocky, what do you think of it?
It was great. I love seeing you frozen in carbonite, and just remember, you have hibernation sickness.
Yes. A little higher. Yeah, and
Brain.
Yeah.
So what Star Wars, the whole Star Wars celebration at Disney started when?
In 2000.
No. What date this year?
Oh, when's it start? It starts on May 17th, which is next weekend. Not this coming weekend, but the following. And it runs each weekend for 4 consecutive weekends until the second weekend of June.
Exactly. So save up your pocket money, your lawnmower money, and definitely come on down and check us out. We'll be there.
Come on down, y'all.
We'll be there every weekend in spirit, of course.
And I will actually physically be down there every weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll be there every weekend at some point. The first weekend I will be there the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So definitely come find me. Well, I'm going to be tweeting live from the event. and I'll be sure to post up the shirt I'm wearing so you can try and hunt me down in the park. But usually you'll find me around the autograph area, and I'll be hanging out with a fellow, what we like to call ourselves, the Star Wars Weekenders. We actually have our own little group on Facebook, and we have a number of us that line up, well, pretty early on in the morning to line up to get the autograph fast passes. And I will post some more information up about different hints and tips to make your journey to Disney a success and make sure you get the most out of your day with Star Wars weekends.
That is excellent.
Thank you, Rocky. So, I think that about does it for this week, guys. I want to absolutely thank Lady J for being here, and I hope she joins us in the future as a regular on our show. And
then we will.
Well, and actually, Lady J, how? Let's just ask you, how would you like to join Modernerdom as a regular each week?
I think that would be fabulous.
Awesome. Well, we'd love your input.
Absolutely, I agree. Definitely.
And that's your last shot of the evening, people.
This is Rocky.
Lady J.
I'm the Brain. And remember, listeners, share your nerdom with the world.
And get your nerd on.
And in the words of our 16th president,
Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes!